Hi, friend. This is Alex McRobs, founder of the Mindful Life Practice, and you're listening to the Sober Yoga Girl podcast. I'm a Canadian who moved across the world to the Middle East at age 23, and I never went back. I got sober in 2019, and I now live full-time in Bali, Indonesia. I've made it my mission to help other women around the world stop drinking, start yoga, and change their lives through my online Sober Girls Yoga community. You're not alone, and a sober life can be fun and fulfilling. Let me show you how. Here we go. All right. We are officially live. Good morning, everyone.
Good evening, everyone.
Yes, good morning, good evening. I love that. Happy Tuesday for everyone on Cathy's side of the world. Happy Wednesday for everyone on my side of the world. How are you doing today, Cathy?
I'm good. It's Gratitude Tuesday. I got my gratitude sweatshirt on. I get tomorrow off. Tomorrow is a Jewish holiday and my school celebrates, it keeps in honor of the Jewish holiday. So it's kind of a weird, middle of the week break for me. Yeah. How about you?
Oh,
How are
nice.
you?
Is that what you're grateful for Gratitude Tuesday?
I am. I'm, grateful for getting a break. Yes. I'm going to go get my hair done tomorrow. The big hair is getting done.
Love that. I'm doing well. I'm doing really good. I am feeling really healthy right now. And I've gone through some transformations with a doctor very recently and been able to target or figure out some foods that I was having issues with, that were not making me feel good. And so now I'm just feeling really healthy. And I got up this morning and I made this smoothie for breakfast. It was so good. It was a spinach, berry, banana, papaya smoothie.
Ooh, I was going to ask you what's in it because I am known as, I'm a smoothie snob. I make my own smoothies. So I'm always curious. What were the ingredients? Tell me.
It was spinach, banana, papaya, and blueberry.
And then what, did you have a water base or a milk base at all?
I literally just put water into it.
Got it.
Yeah. I don't put any milks into it anymore because of my naturopathic doctor's guidance that I'm not supposed to be having any of those milks. And so the water seems to be working really well.
I might have to try that because I always put almond milk or coconut milk in. So, and then I put a dash of honey as well. So good. And cinnamon, I put a lot of cinnamon in.
Oh, yum.
Yeah. So, but I'm a blueberry, banana, spinach, but there was one ingredient you said that I've never tried before.
Papaya. Papaya, it's so good. It's like that.
We live in Ohio, so we don't know what papayas are. No, I really do know what they are.
It was so good. Yeah.
Yum. All right. I'm gonna have to have one before yoga tonight. So
yes.
Maybe I'll wait till after. So okay, so I have a question for you.
Yeah.
When you think of New Year's resolution, how does it make you feel? Are you a New Year's resolution type of person?
So I love the idea of New Year's resolutions. I love it. Oh my God, my cat fur is coming over the top of the camera, by the way. She's just sleeping on, on
the table. It looks like you're behind a branch. It's hilarious.
Okay, I love the idea of New Year's resolutions, but I have to tell you that I personally have not had any life transformation changes that have happened on January 1st. For me, they've all happened on I got sober on April 13th, or I've made this new health change on whatever it was, September 20th, And so for me, it's always been the random day where I've decided to make a change, and I've never myself lined it up with January 1st. But I know a lot of people who really thrive with the New Year's resolution, and a lot of people's sober date is January 1st because they quit drinking on January 1st. I know in our
community, people are like New Year's Eve, January 1st, Yes, I would agree. Do you think by January 24th, if you've ever done one, you're doing well with it? Because I know if I'm honest, by January 24th, I'm like looking for ways out of whatever, or like I'm minimizing. It's the newness of it is worn off 24 days in.
I definitely think I would lose momentum even before the 24th, like maybe on the 1st, the 2nd.
That was so honest. I love it.
How about you?
It's funny because I have been over the years like a New Year's person, New Year's resolution person. Like the year before, like I started, well, like the year I started cutting back my drinking, I didn't even want to go out. Like it was interesting. That was my first, and I used to be a big like woo, and then like do the new thing the next day, or maybe 2 days in because I had to get to myself out of bed because I was drinking and all that stuff. So usually it was like January 2nd or 3rd by the time it was usually something to do with food prep or working out, blah blah blah. So it was interesting. A few years ago, I came across this motivational speaker who a lot of people are not like there's opinions on this person, but they had a flip the script type of a thing. And their whole thing was October 1st is 90 days until January 1st. And how many of us it takes usually, whatever they say, however many 21 days to get a new habit, but really 90 days, you're solid into a new habit. So their whole thing was start October 1st. And so by January 1st, you are solid and you are good to go. And I was like, I never thought about that. And that was the year that I had given up alcohol anyway in July. So then I went all in. Like I gave up dairy, I gave up sugar, because they were giving examples like, everybody gets so sick around the holidays, and they were talking about sugar and how that really affects your immune system. And if you gave that up during the holidays, you might feel healthier, blah, blah, blah. So I did all of that for 90 days. And I have to say, it was amazing, because going into the new year, I felt like I was at the finish line and I could just keep running. So I was thinking about this whole sober October in that sense. This upcoming Saturday starts the 108 day, the next program for the 108 day emotional sobriety program. And that leads you until January 24th. I looked that up. I Googled, because math and I'm allergic. And so but I thought, wow, if you signed up for this weekend and joined, and we, in the 108 days, what we do is for 108 days, we have journal prompts. We're in a WhatsApp group. We meet twice a week. One of it is meditation. One of them is yoga. And we're really together for those 108 days through the holiday. How solid we would feel during those rough times during the holidays, those emotional sobriety things where we have the triggers of our families, our friends, all the things, that inner child work, things that we need our support more than ever during the holidays is what I have found. So I just thought of that. I was like, this would be, to me, if I were to join and think about that 90-day challenge thing I did, it was never a better time. And I have to say, a lot of those habits carried on for me. And I just think something to think about for people who are still like, hey, I didn't join it on October 1st, but I really need a community of women. And the 108 day is for people who, women, I should say, who, you have been on this journey. And it does not mean that you have stopped drinking necessarily at this point, but you've been on this journey. It's going to help you if you have put the whatever alcohol it is down. But this is a good way to look at things. So I thought, what a great gift for yourself going into the holidays. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It sounds like a sales advertisement, I know, but I just genuinely loved that theory of October to getting you through the holidays. It was the first time a holiday, a New Year's resolution, worked for me. So that's why I was asking for you, because I just wondered.
You know what? I love that question. I love the way you framed that, because I've been able to connect it to my own journey with not alcohol exactly, because my family has always been pretty supportive of my sobriety. My uncle's also sober, and my grandma, no one in my family has ever put on pressure for me to drink. But I have been struggling with a lot of food changes over the years. Like I've been trying to quit coffee for literally like probably as long as I've been sober. I've been trying to quit coffee. And I've gone through phases, 2 week, 3 week stints. And I was actually 3 weeks off of coffee the last time I went home for Christmas, which was December of 2019. And what broke my coffee sobriety was on Christmas Day. My grandma said to me, just have one, it's a holiday. And I think about that all the time because I'm like, this is what then got me back on this thing for like a couple more years. And I know that seems like coffee seems more minuscule than alcohol, for example. But for me, it's this really, I think of coffee for me as like an addictive self-harming habit because I'm like dehydrating myself. I'm spending all this money on it. And I drink multiple ones a day. Anyway, the reason why I bring this up is because I'm now about 2.5 weeks coffee free. And now when I think about me going into my Christmas, like you're exactly right. I'm going to have 90 days of momentum by the time I'm there. And I even can have the preparatory time to like have a conversation with my family, which I think I'm going to before I get home. And I already gave them a heads up, like, this is what I eat now. This is what I need. Like, I'm not going to be able to eat in restaurants. I'm going to have to be cooking for myself, but I'm probably going to even have the time to have a heads up with my grandma and just be like, look, I don't drink coffee. Don't suggest it to me. Don't encourage it because I don't want to start again. And I love the way you're talking about me having this distance and time and space for me to really get solid in myself and then set up the things that I need around me to stay solid in this is going to be key for me. And it's the same thing for alcohol.
So true. And for me, it was sugar. Like, and then same thing, like one of my birthdays, I think last year, somebody was like, well, an ice cream cake. And then I fell hard into ice cream cakes and the sugar. And it took me a long time to get off. And I've been cycling back and forth since. And I'm like, all right, tomorrow I need to start like doing this because I am not healthy with sugar. Like in natural sugars I do and all that, but I get like I can't do sugar. I'm an all or nothing person with sugar.
Me too.
And so I need for myself to say, okay, I need to go back to the natural like natural ways and things of that nature. And, like, that's what I was asking, what do you put in your smoothie? Because, I put the dash of honey and I'm going to be okay with that. Like, I'm not going to go extremes because I need to have a healthy mindset for myself. So I don't know, it just gives you something to think about because the holidays are here before we know it. And I'm the same way. My family does not pressure me about the alcohol or anything like that. But like, I just think there's the emotional triggers that we get that we might not even plan for. The inner child work that we do during the 108 days of talking about like, let's get curious of why are we picking up the drink? And we're really, so, a lot of women have said to me, I started to stop myself and ask the questions that we get so rote in our head by the time we're like wanting to think about the triggers. So, I mean, that's a big purpose of the 108 days. So anybody who hasn't like signed up yet, please think about it because it could work for your holidays was my thought. So that's my little shtick on, just thinking about all of that.
And who is the 108? Like, who would that specifically be for? Who do you think it would really support and work for?
I would say I can answer it more who would not support. I think that's a better way. If you are just putting down the drink for the very first time, I think it would be a hard place to be because generally the women who have come to the program have reduced alcohol for a while and are starting to want to dig deeper into the triggers there or have gone alcohol free for a while or stints of it. So they're a little bit more past the triggering of trying to get past the everyday, like I want to get out of this pattern. So I think, but like we have people who have been in the program who have reduced and they're like, oh my gosh, like I'm so much more aware of like I've cut back and I now see with clarity, this is making more sense and I have more goals towards what I'm doing. So it doesn't even have to be completely an alcohol-free journey. I think the cutback or alcohol-free, but you practiced it for a few, the term practice is the only way I can say it. You've practiced it for a while. You're like, I need a little more support. And this gives you 2 live supports a week. Then you get journal prompts, and we talk about shame. We talk about inner child work. We talk about like all, grief and loss and, all those things that are underneath why we're really picking up and we're digging deep and we're talking about it together as women. And what I love is it's women all around the world, all different ages, and we're having all different kinds of conversations. And it's usually a lot of times absolutely hilarious. But there's a lot of times we're crying together too. I mean, and I always say it's our group. It's not mine. Sunday, I was in a raw place and the group like held me like while I was having, an experience. And, I'm 3+ years sober, but I'm still learning things. And that group, they held me and they even sent me flowers. The Red Group, you're all like so sweet. Thank you, Red Group. I love my flowers. I should have brought them up here. So yeah, that's my thought process, and that's where I love the mind and the body and the program that, the community you put together with the sober yoga, because, I've said this before, but I was sober for 2 years, but I had so much pain in my body and I didn't understand why, but I now can connect this together. And that's another part of the 108-day process, is connecting all of this together.
Yeah, I love that. So this 108-day program, it's going to be, I think is it the 5th group that we've run of this? This is the 5th group of this, which is
4th. I'm so bad at numbers. I'm allergic to numbers. April
might be 4th.
4. It's the 4th.
It's the 4th one. And so we have women who are joining it who have done the 30 and 60-day sober challenge with me. And then we have people that are brand new that haven't done either program, that are just looking to get started with our community. And so this group meets on Saturdays and Mondays. Cathy is leading the Saturday meeting. Kristen is leading the yoga practice. And then with it, you also get a membership to the Mindful Life practice. So you can join any of my classes, any of the other classes or programs going on, like the speaker series, like the topic meeting. So we have a really rich live Zoom community. And if you are feeling like you're a little bit sort of meandering or lost in your sobriety and you need some momentum, I definitely think that this is the program for you. So reach out to me and Cathy if you have any questions about anything. You can even write a comment if you're watching in on the live, or just shoot either of us a message. We'd love to chat with you about it.
Absolutely. Would love to chat. And, there's just so many different ways you can approach this. And I think that's the beauty of this community. But it's a safe community to really explore. And I think that's, as a woman, like, we don't get, I think the other thing we do here is we are not about labels. We're not about like, we're getting curious about ourselves and how can we grow, and the whys. Yeah, absolutely. So it's so good to see you. And I'm glad I got smoothie advice, even if your question is smoothie advice, the coffee, getting off coffee, you have to ask Alex, because I am not there. And honestly, it's not a goal of mine at all. Never. Like, not doing it, because when I get off coffee, I crave chocolate, and it just becomes a bad cycle. So I'm more worried about the sugar for myself. So that's all I got.
And for every single person, it's different.
It is. It's such a different journey. Like, what's your thing, So totally. We all got our things, our coping things that we look at and say, is that healthy for me?
Yeah, totally.
Whether it's social media, whether, we all have our different vices.
So true. All right. This was an amazing conversation. So me and Cathy are going to hop off now. Cathy has one of her challenge groups. I have the Sober Curious topic meeting. If anyone wants to join us for the topic meeting, the topic today is making sober friends.
I wish we could be there, but your sober friends, some of us will be over in the other meeting. So enjoy, and thank you everybody who tuned in. And if you have any questions, let us know.
Perfect. Bye.
Bye.
Hi, friend. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Sober Yoga Girl podcast. This community wouldn't exist without you here, so thank you. It would be massively helpful if you could subscribe, leave a review, and share this podcast so it can reach more people. If we haven't met yet in real life, please come get your 1-week free trial of the Sober Girls Yoga membership and see what we're all about. Sending you love and light wherever you are in the world.